So here's a good one about a guy who handles things just right. Upon finding out that his girlfriend of like 4 years, A, cheated on him, and B, said to him that she's pregnant and it's his kid. Titled, Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay delivery and maternity expenses for the child? And a shout out to Ash for sending this short story. It says, about 11 months ago, I, a 28-year-old male, found out that my girl, a 24-year-old female, was cheating on me. We've been together for 4 years and lived together for almost 2. 4 years, huh? That's not small. I thought we had a great relationship. We got along really well, regular weekly dates, traveled a lot together, and had lots of plans for our future together. We even talked about me proposing as soon as she got her finances in order. Yeah, so then you propose, marry her, and then she can screw the finances up again and you pay for things. I found out she was sleeping with a guy who's friends with a best friend's boyfriend. Okay, whatever connection that is. She's cheating, so that's all we needed to know. I told her to kick rocks and I never wanted to see her again. Good job. No crying, no begging, none of that crap. It's over. Get the F out of my life. She went on and moved in with that best friend and her boyfriend. During that time, she never told her family that we broke up and no longer lived together. A few weeks later, after she moved out, she reached out and told me that she was pregnant and she is certain that it's mine because the time she cheated, they used condoms. Paternity test. Until then, you're not getting a dime out of me, sugar. For context, my pop, he passed away when I was a child and I have very little memories of him. And as a result, my family struggles and it affected me for a long time. I told her when the kid is born and is confirmed as mine, I'll take care of everything. And until then, leave me alone. There you go. End of story. Now, obviously, it's a much bigger process trying to take the test while she's pregnant, and it's painful for her and all that, if I'm not mistaken. So he's waiting. And as you can imagine, guys, this is probably the longest 9 months of his life. Okay, fine, you rack up the expenses. If it's my kid, then I'll reimburse you for all those things. Because, honestly, if it is his kid, he does have a responsibility. But if it's not his kid, he does not have a responsibility. 2 weeks later, we met up and she swore on everything that the baby is mine and said I should help cover maternity and pregnancy stuff. Until the test, I'm not doing anything. I told her, keep all the receipts of everything you spend on pregnancy, maternity stuff. After the child is born, if it is mine, I'll cut you a check to cover all expenses. If not, then we'll part ways, and she agreed. Okay, you all heard this. He made abundantly clear. She agreed. She then proceeded to get a midwife and a doula for herself. Both pretty expensive. She decided on a home birth. Racking up the money. Comes time, the baby came early and there were complications. She was rushed to the hospital for an emergency C-section, and the baby was kept on those wards where they keep the newborn who can't survive alone. On the day of birth, I went to see her and a nurse took me to see the baby. 2 weeks ago, she sent me receipts for everything and a total over $40,000. And she asked for money to pay the doula and midwife. I told her, let's wait for the DNA results. 40 grand, huh? Plus other things. I've been checking that those receipts didn't include, a trip to, places where they get their shoes and fancy purses. I don't know what the fuck the stores are, but you know what I mean. Well, it turns out, wait for it, I'm not the father. Shocker. I told her, I'm sorry, but she's on her own. She cried and said that she and the child are ruined if I don't step up and help them, and went on how we can have a successful relationship together and raise the kid and how she's matured and will be a good partner. Of course she's saying all that, whatever he wants and needs to hear, because she has no money. And where's the baby daddy? Why isn't he helping out? I mean, that's an important question here. It's not his responsibility. I told her I have a zero interest in raising someone else's child and to call on the real father. Well, the guy is broke, and is a cashier at a local store. She cheated on and ruined the relationship with this guy who has things going on for himself for just some guy that's broke, nothing going on for himself. Well, no surprise there. Attention to validation. And she really thinks, well, see, this is about perception, guys. Her perception of her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend here, is that he's a nice guy, and eventually after enough waterworks and pressure, she'll twist the screws a little bit on his emotions, that he'll take her back and raise somebody else's child. Pure fucking desperation. Now, everyone in her family is trying to convince me to at least pay off the $40,000 before going our ways. I said no. Am I the a-hole for refusing to step up here? You know, it's amazing the questions these guys ask, but if they didn't do these, I wouldn't have these videos to cover. No, you're not the a-hole. They're the a-holes. Why don't they help her? There's a question. Now, here's the deal. When you're with her, I have to wonder, this guy, didn't he notice that her family probably are a bunch of a-holes too, and probably don't have a whole lot to their name, and maybe they could be a bunch of users and freeloaders. Yeah. Why should this guy step up and do it? He spent 4 years. His thanks for 4 years of being a loving, good relationship, a good boyfriend to her, is her cheating on him and getting pregnant with some other dude's baby, and he's supposed to step up? No, I don't think so. So find your own way. It is not his problem. She made her bed. Now she has to lie on it, and she can go after that clown. That sounds like the guy who's the cashier better get a freaking better job, because she's going after him next. So no, block her on everything, have nothing to do with her or her family. And if they harass you, then take to the next level. But there you go, guys. Handle it like a boss. Now some comments, because they're always fun. One guy says, not the a-hole. You were very clear that you would not pay until there was a DNA test, and then only if the child was yours. It's not as if you told her you'd pay no matter what, and then went back on it. She knew the situation from the jump, and she gambled on the hope that the child turned out to be yours. Her gamble did not pay off. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure she knew darn well this child wasn't his. You know? And if I were him, I would have recorded that conversation with him saying his terms, and also her agreeing to it, certainly in writing. Another one. Not the a-hole. She made decisions based on her assumptions. So far, she has shown she isn't interested in a real long-term relationship with you. She dug herself into a hole and is now asking you to get her out of it. You're not responsible for her nor her actions. Her family is the a-hole for asking you. She's the one who caused the breakup. You're not living together when she incurred the debts, and they are for her pregnancy with another dude. If they are concerned, ask why they are not able to pay. Please do so publicly. And the last one here says, she made decisions based on her assumptions. So far, she has shown she isn't interested in a long-term relationship with you. Oh, I got the wrong one here. Well, anyhow, then it's over here. So anyhow, I wish this guy all the best. But again, guys, this goes to show you, spend years with your girl, as he did. He did spend years, but you got, during those years, pay attention to all the details. Her family, what they're like. Probably to him, there weren't a lot of red flags. But you always have to pay attention to these things. And if it turns out that the girl's a cheater, end it. And he did that just right. Boom, pound sand, kick rocks, get the fuck out of here. It's over with. But back with the whole pregnancy thing. Never fall for it. And yeah, you wait. You have to wait a whole long 9 months for those tests to show up. But never give a dime, never get your name on the birth certificate until you know the actual proof. Usually maybe 2 tests, actually, that child is yours. If it's yours, okay. Then you got a responsibility for 18 long years. But if it's not your kid, don't do it. Don't fall for it. Good for this guy.